Born to be strong, enduring, tireless. Who are we talking about? A dog breed unlike any other, born of the wild and shaped by one of the harshest processes of natural selection any breed has ever endured. For centuries, only the strongest, the smartest, and the most even-tempered survived. That is why, today, they deserve to have their story told. In this film, we will call them Northern Braith. In a world where the cold is a constant companion and the horizon stretches endlessly, one of the most remarkable creatures ever domesticated by humankind was born. The Siberian Husky is more than just a dog. It is a symbol of survival, loyalty, and freedom. A breed whose origins stretch back thousands of years, shaped through extraordinarily rigorous selection into the magnificent dog admired around the world today. Determined, enduring, fearless, and at the same time possessing hearts of extraordinary kindness. Thousands of years before the husky captured the world's imagination, the Chukchi people of northeastern Siberia created their most loyal companion. This was not merely a working animal, it was a member of the family. It shared their food, their journeys, and their lives. Selected for speed, endurance, and temperament, these dogs were bred to survive where humans alone could not. The ancestors of today's Siberian Husky were developed by the Chukchi people on the Chukchi Peninsula, one of the harshest environments on Earth. They created a dog capable of pulling sleds across immense distances, enduring Arctic temperatures, surviving on limited food, and living side by side with people. Unlike heavier draft dogs, Huskies were bred for speed, endurance, and efficiency. During the 18th and 19th centuries, Russian explorers encountered the Chukchi and their renowned sled dogs. Thanks to these remarkable animals, the tribe was able to travel vast distances across the Arctic tundra and survive in a world where even the smallest mistake could prove fatal. When the Klondike Gold Rush reached Alaska at the end of the 19th century, an enormous demand arose for transportation across the snow-covered wilderness. Dog sled teams became essential to life in the north, and before long, the world would discover a new champion. 1908. In the unforgiving wilderness of Alaska, the first great sled dog race was held, the All-Alaska Sweepstakes, more than 650 kilometers of ice, snow, and relentless cold. This was far more than a race. It was a test of survival. A year later, dogs from distant Siberia arrived in Alaska. They were smaller than the local sled dogs. Many mocked the newcomers, calling them the Siberian rats. But the laughter did not last. Within only a few years, these dogs began dominating the races, forever changing the sport. Among those who recognized their extraordinary potential was the Norwegian musher Leonhard Seppala. His teams won race after race and laid the foundation for much of the modern Siberian Husky breed. But the greatest chapter in the Husky's history was yet to come. January 1925. The small town of Nome, Alaska, faced a deadly crisis. A diphtheria epidemic threatened the lives of hundreds of children. The life-saving serum existed, but it was more than 1,000 kilometers away. Temperatures plunged below -40 degrees Celsius. Blizzards raged. Aircraft could not fly. The sea was frozen solid. Only one hope remained: the dogs. 20 mushers and more than 100 sled dogs set out on an impossible mission. Day and night, they battled snow, ice, and hurricane-force winds, relaying the precious cargo across Alaska's frozen wilderness. Among them were two names history would never forget: Togo and Balto. While Balto led the final stretch into Nome, It was Togo and Leonhard Seppala who crossed the longest and most dangerous section of the route. During the mission, they crossed the frozen Norton Sound, a risk few would have dared to take. The ice cracked beneath them. The wind reached hurricane force. Death was only a single misstep away, yet Togo pressed on. At 12 years of age, he covered more than 400 kilometers, far more than any other dog involved in the rescue. Years later, Seppala would say, "I never had a better dog than Togo." After more than 5 days of relentless struggle against the elements, the serum finally reached Nome. The town was saved. The world learned of the extraordinary courage and devotion of the Siberian Husky. Only a few months later, a statue of Balto was erected in New York City. Inscribed upon it are the words endurance, fidelity, intelligence. In 1930, the breed was officially recognized by the American Kennel Club. 8 years later, the Siberian Husky Club of America was established. The Siberian Husky had secured its place in history. In the decades that followed, these dogs took part in Arctic and Antarctic expeditions, transported people and equipment across some of the most inhospitable places on Earth, and repeatedly proved their unmatched endurance. Over time, the breed conquered the world. From a working sled dog, it became one of the most recognizable symbols of the North. Today, millions recognize the Siberian Husky's distinctive facial mask, piercing blue eyes, and free-spirited nature. But behind that striking appearance lies a story forged over thousands of years, a story of survival, a story of loyalty, a story of the bond between humans and dogs. Modern DNA research confirms the breed's ancient origins and its connection to the dogs of the Chukchi people. Even today, every Siberian Husky carries within its genes a fragment of that untamed North where it all began. From the snow-covered plains of Chukotka to homes around the world, from a dog bred for survival to a global legend. This is the story of Northern Breath, the story of the Siberian Husky.